let's move on and let's talk about earnings. And we have the management of KIMS Hospital or KIMS Hospitals joining us. We have Dr. Bhaskara Rao, who's the managing director of KIMS Hospitals, joining us. Good morning, Mr. Rao. Thank you so much for joining us on ET Now. Dr. Rao, let me begin by asking about your earnings. On a sequentially basis, if you see, the revenue has been falling for 3 straight quarters at group operating level. Could you tell us what is the reason for this sort of an underperformance coming in? And also if you could share with us a growth guidance that you're penciling in for FY23?
Good morning. And the reason why, basically if you look into the quarter 4, is muted on the top line is because the quarter was affected with Omicron third wave. Even though the patients are not suffered, most of the healthcare workers like medical and non-medical people has been affected with Omicron, so they could not come to the hospital. Second important thing is with this wave, the patients are not willing to come, even the elective cases, not the Omicron affected patients. The elective patients are also, because of the fear, they didn't come for an elective surgeries and other things. That's why. And apart from that, the February was at 28 days. So usually this quarter will be like this. And when we have an EBITDA, margins have been grown because of the payer mix has changed, and then the high-end procedures like transplant programs are continuously going on. And third important thing is the RPOPs, the high-end procedures we did. That's why the RPOPs and the operation bed.
Dr. Rao, we will come to the margins in just a bit. But are you essentially saying that Omicron was the reason why occupancy levels fell to below the average, and therefore do you anticipate that at the start in the first quarter of FY23 we'll be back above that 60% mark?
Yes, that's right.
What is your expectation for the rest of the financial year?
There will be a steady growth, and ultimately, because today we have about 60% is there, over a period of time, in 1 or 2 years, we are expecting at the level of 65-66% occupancy on the consolidated base, including Sunshine.
Right. Dr. Rao, let's talk about margins now. It is increased by 300 basis points. That has been aided by specialty mix changes in product as well as your operational leverages. Do you expect to see the margins increase in the coming quarters? Will you be able to maintain or sustain margins at 30% plus, considering what we are seeing with regards to current inflation scenario?
The margins will sustain, but now we are adding this Sunshine Hospital, which is around 30-35% occupancy. We are expecting to go, and then there is a little bit of the new therapies that we are going to add, and as well as we are planning to shift the existing Secunderabad Hospital of Sunshine in 1 kilometer away from that. We are taking a new facility because it's being a 15-year-old building and facility was not up to the level. So we are planning to shift that one. So with that, I think the margins may drop down, but it will sustain temporarily.
Okay. Dr. Rao, you mentioned Sunshine. Could you give us a sense of where that acquisition stands? What's the progress that is being made in terms of the integration? And also you mentioned adding a certain amount of capacity. I want to try and understand what the plan is for this current financial year in terms of capex. What is the spend that you're going to be doing, and what are the areas that you're going to be focusing on?
As far as the Sunshine is concerned, as I mentioned, that it is a subsidiary. We are going to have 51%. With that, the required amount for the building of the new facility and adding new therapies and all, the financially we are sound, and it is up to the level. I don't think we need to take a big take on that also. We are already 150 crores is there. We are planning to buy out the existing facility. If at all it happens, we'll take a little more debt on the building. The second, the adding on the capex as far as the concerned at the console base of entire KIMS 3,600 beds. As we mentioned before, we are planning to expand in Nellore, Ongole and Srikakulam. on the existing facilities where the facilities are overrun by the occupancy. The third important thing, as we mentioned, that we are planning to start in Hyderabad in Telangana Kondapur facility. So these facilities may not take much of the capex in the next financial year. It may be in 24 months. I think it will have a little bit of 300 crores or add. And when we go for other expansions, like as I mentioned before in the Nasik, where we have been in around 325 beds, the total capex is going to be around 200 to 250 crores margin. And out of that 51%, we are going to put nearly 50 crores we'll invest, and the rest, the other partner will put another 50 crores. He already invested in the building and land. So the rest, another 150 crores, we are going to borrow from the banks that will be able to sustain to repay the from that facility itself, subsidy.
Rao, what is the total capex for FY23, or can you break that up between FY23 and FY24?
23 will be around maybe total capex of around 400 to 450 crores, apart from excluding the, that is the one. Maybe FY24, maybe another 500 crores. Total of 1,000 crores in the next 2 financial years.
Okay, and you mentioned also that some of these facilities will require debt. What is the position on the books in terms of debt? Where will you end the year FY23 on?
As of today, we are a debt-free company, hardly about 2-3 crores, any excess actually. And then maybe we don't cross even 1:1 EBITDA debt ratio this year. Maybe 300 crores debt, maybe another 300 crores in the next year.
Dr. Rao, thank you so much. Wish you all the best and hope things go back to normal very quickly. They seem to be heading towards that direction. Pleasure talking to you.
Okay, thank you very much.